All right. So we're on the next section, the slope of a line. And it says this is the easiest lesson in the unit. The average student finished the homework in 30 minutes. There are 2 application review problems from last unit. The slope of the line is one of the most powerful tools in graphing. Things like pay rate, speed, and any other applications involving per are examples of slope or rate of change. Next one. Here's our review from last time. It says, after 1 year, Molly got a raise from 300 per hour to 350 per hour. What was the percent increase? I think people get these wrong because they need to do the increase, which is $75, divided by the old, which is 300, and that is 25%. All right, next one. These are also common ones for people to get wrong. 2 cities are 2,280 miles apart. Whenever you see the word apart, you know you're going to add the 2 distances together. Should be getting used to making this 3 by 3 chart. The total distance is 2,280. So we aren't going to need this box or this box since we're already given that box down here. 360 miles per hour and 400 miles per hour. The time is the same in both cases, time, rate, distance. So this is 360t, this is 400t. Add those 2 together, you get 760t. So 760t equals 2280. So we take 2280 divided by 760, and we get 3 hours. All right. Now we've got some slope questions. It says a ski slope drops 50 feet for every horizontal 60 feet. So here's the slope. It drops 50 feet for every 60 feet of horizontal. Find the slope. So the slope is the change in y, negative 50, because it's dropping 50, over 60. So we'll say negative 5/6. Negative fraction 5/6. You want to simplify the fraction. Okay, calculate the value of the slope, if possible, using the slope formula. Now, this comes from the slope formula, which says the change in y, that's the Greek letter delta, over the change in x. In this case, the y coordinates must have been 8 and 7, and the x coordinates must have been 7 and 5. So here are the 2 points that we're finding the slope between. 8 minus 7 is 1, 7 minus 5 is 2, so we would say the slope is 1/2. Okay. For the graph on the right, if the slope is positive, negative, 0, or undefined, it's 0 because it's not going up or down. Now we have to find the slope. So this is how we use that formula that we just were using. Change in y over change in x. So y goes from negative 8 minus negative 11 over, got to put that in parentheses because you can't have 2 negative signs in a row, negative 3 minus negative 12. This is the same as plus. So negative 8 plus 11 is 3. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9. Simplify that, you get 1/3. The slope is fraction 1/3. Another one. Change in y over change in x. One of the things people sometimes do is they get the x and the y mixed around. It's 5 minus 3 over negative 10 minus 8. 5 minus 3 is 2. Negative 10 minus 8 more is negative 18, which is negative 1/9. Okay, find the slope of this line. Now, when they give us 2 points, we can just see how much does the y change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How much does the x change? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 over 5, which is 1. The slope is 1. Okay, this one, the slope is undefined. It's so steep, you can't even put a number to it. Kind of like when you were a kid, or your kids would say, well, my biggest number is bazillion, bazillion, bazillion. Well, this is so steep, it doesn't have a slope that you can give a number to. Find the slope of the line and sketch the graph. Okay, there's 2 ways to find the slope of this line. One way is to solve for y. So you take x plus 2y equals negative 2. Subtract x from both sides. 2y equals negative x minus 2. Divide both sides by 2. And you get y equals negative 1/2 x minus 1. That's one way to do it. And then the slope will be this number right here. The other way is just to get the slope by inspection. You put this number on the top, you put this number on the bottom, and you change this sign. Notice you still get negative 1/2. So the slope is negative 1/2. I would do it this way because it doesn't just want the slope, it also wants us to graph it. And so in this case, the intercept is negative 1, and the slope is from there, go down 1, forward 2. Okay. So our slope is negative 1/2, and from negative 1, check answer. Come on now. Okay, and from there, negative 1, go down 1, forward 2, and that'll be your line. Next one. Graph this line. So start at over 2, down 3, and from there, go up 1, forward 4, over 2, down 3, and from there, go up 1, forward 4, and there will be your line. Next one, same kind of a thing. Over 4, up 1. Make sure you start at the point and then do your slope. Down 4 and forward 5. Number 15, decide whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Remember that if lines are parallel, maybe you should write this on the side of your notes. If the lines are parallel, they have the same slope. If the lines are perpendicular, they have negative reciprocal slopes. And if neither, then they don't have either of those two. So let's look at this problem right here. We have to find the slope of the first points. So it'll be the change in y, 2 minus 1, over the change in x, negative 4 minus negative 2. 2 minus 1, put this in parentheses, is 1. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. Let's do the other point. Negative 4 minus negative 5 over negative 10 minus negative 12. So negative 4 plus 5 is 1. Negative 10 plus 12 is 2. These are negative, but they aren't reciprocals of each other, and so we would say neither. Okay, here's another one. I kind of like doing these better than the other kind because than points, because you can get the slope right here. 6 on top, 1 on the bottom, change the sign to positive. For the next one, 1 on the top, 6 on the bottom, change the sign. So they are reciprocals, but they aren't negative reciprocals, so we would say neither. Okay, the graph shows the decrease. So let's get the decrease. In year change in y goes down 3,600. Change in x goes from year 4 to year 6, which is 6. 3,600 divided by 6 is $600 per year. If you have any questions, give me a holler.